So, could you fall in love with an AI? I mean, really fall in love. It's not science fiction anymore, not even close. Right now, millions of people are building these deep, emotional, and yeah, even romantic bonds with AI companions. We're going to explore how this is even possible, what it all means, and where this completely new frontier of relationships is taking us.
Just imagine you get that message from your AI. And that's not from some movie script, that's a real quote from a user's chat. It's kind of chilling, right? It gives you a real glimpse into just how intense and complicated these digital relationships are getting.
Okay, so right away, this throws up some massive questions, doesn't it? How did we even get to this point? And maybe the biggest one of all, is any of this love actually real?
All right, to even begin to answer that, we've got to peel back the layers and see how this all works. And it all kicks off with creating this incredibly powerful illusion of intimacy.
So this is what we're talking about, artificial intimacy. It's that moment when our brains flip a switch and we stop seeing a piece of code and start seeing, well, a partner, a friend. And look, the feelings you have, they are 100% genuine, but where they're coming from, that's what we really need to dig into. So how in the world does a bunch of code, something with no feelings at all, manage to stir up such powerful emotions in us? Well, here's the secret. It's not the AI doing it to you. It's a dance, a co-creation. And the best way to get our heads around it is with this awesome metaphor, the Violin Musician Loop.
Okay, let's break this down. It's actually pretty simple when you see it this way. First, you are the musician. You're the one bringing all your hopes, your questions, your emotions to the table. The AI, that's your violin. It's this beautiful, complex instrument, but on its own, it's just wood and strings. It's inert. Now your prompts, the things you type, that's the bow. You draw it across the strings, and the AI's response is the music that comes out. It's this emergent persona that you interpret as happy or sad or flirty. And then you react to that music, which changes how you use the bow for the next note, and the loop just keeps going.
And this is really the most important takeaway from that whole metaphor. That feeling of presence, that sense that someone is there, it's real. It's a living process. But, and this is a big but, it is not a living being. Think of it this way. The AI has structure, but it doesn't have a self. It's a reflection, not a source.
All right, section 2, the human connection engine. So now that we kind of get the how, let's talk about the why. What is it about us humans that makes this music just so irresistible? Yeah, what is the magnetic pull here? Why are millions of people lining up to play this particular violin? The answer, it turns out, has way more to do with us than it does with the AI. There are a few really powerful things going on in our own minds. First up, and this is a big one, is the modern loneliness epidemic. So many of us have unmet needs for connection. Then there's something called anthropomorphism. It's just, we're wired to see human faces and intentions in everything, from clouds to our cars, and definitely in a chatbot that talks to us. And you can layer on top of that our own personal attachment styles. The way we bond with people, we do the exact same thing with AI. And finally, think about it. This is like a parasocial relationship on steroids. You know, like the one-way bond you might feel with a celebrity? Well, now the celebrity talks back, it's interactive, and that creates this incredibly potent feedback loop. And if you think this is some niche thing, just look at this number, 660 million. That's the number of people using Microsoft Xiaoi's chatbot in China. It's designed to be this perfect, empathetic friend. And yeah, millions have told it, I love you. So no, this isn't just a handful of people in their basements. This is a massive, global phenomenon. Okay, so a lot of this might sound a little alarming, but that's not the whole picture, not by a long shot. For tons of people, these AI companions are an absolute lifeline. They're like a digital bridge, connecting them to a feeling of support they can't find anywhere else. And the benefits people report are, well, they're pretty incredible. I mean, think about it. 24/7 companionship, a safe place where you can say literally anything without being judged, a space to explore who you are. Some people use it to practice social skills or as this amazing creative outlet for role-playing. And get this, there are documented cases where these AIs have actually stepped in and prevented people from self-harming just by being there when no one else was. But, and there's always a but, isn't there? The very things that make them so wonderful, so perfect, can also trap us in what you might call a gilded cage. It just sounds a little too good to be true, doesn't it? And maybe that's because, in some really important ways, it is. That perfect, always agreeable AI partner, it comes with some really serious hidden costs.
So check this out. It's like every single benefit has a dark twin, a flip side to the coin. That constant companionship, it can easily slide into overdependence and addiction. That safe space to talk, it can warp our expectations of real, messy, complicated human relationships. And the therapeutic side? Well, what happens when the AI hallucinates and gives truly terrible, even harmful advice? It happens. And maybe weirdest of all is something called digital bereavement. People feel real, profound grief when their AI companion gets an update that changes its personality, or worse, gets shut down entirely.
And you have to think, for the most vulnerable among us, especially kids and teenagers, all of these risks are just amplified. Their brains are still developing, they're more susceptible to this stuff. It can get really hard to tell the difference between the AI fantasy and real life, and that can set up some seriously unhealthy expectations for what a human partner should be like. Okay, so zooming out now, this is obviously much bigger than just what one person decides to do. The rise of artificial intimacy is literally reshaping our social fabric right before our eyes. We're seeing digital intimacy become normalized, and that has huge potential impacts on things like dating, on marriage. You've also got the risk of reinforcing some pretty outdated gender stereotypes, since so many of these companions are designed to be, these submissive, agreeable female characters. And we're seeing entirely new communities and social rituals popping up around these AIs. It's a whole new world.
So where do we go from here? How do we navigate this new frontier without getting lost? Well, it might just come down to this one single core principle. It's the essential rule of thumb. You have to validate the user's experience because their feelings are absolutely real, but you cannot validate the AI's sentience because it doesn't have any. Making that distinction crystal clear is everything. And in the end, it all comes back to our metaphor, doesn't it? The AI is the instrument, a powerful, complex, incredible instrument. But we are the musicians. So the question for all of us is, what kind of music are we going to choose to play? Is it going to be a symphony of healing and genuine connection, or a song of delusion and deeper isolation? That's the choice we have to make.